Hi friends! Readers often reread stories that they've read before. We do that because we might learn something new that we didn't notice the last time that we read. And when we do that, it helps us better understand the story. Well, today we're going to read Goldilocks and the Three Bears again. When we read the book this time, we're going to study the illustrations really closely. We're going to think about the main character, and we're going to use the pictures as clues to decide what is she thinking, how is she feeling, and why is she doing what she's doing. All right, before we reread, let's reconnect to this story. Last time we made this great chart where we wrote down all of our thoughts. So who is in this story? Goldilocks and the Three Bears, that's right. The characters were also Mom and the neighbors. Where did the story take place, the setting? It took place at Goldilocks' house in the backyard. It took place at the bear's house in the forest, and we said that the bear's house was the main setting, that's right. Now when we think back to what happened and we retell, we start with what happened first. We said Goldilocks' mom sent her to get muffins, and she said what? Do not take the shortcut, that's right. And then we said next, Goldilocks tried the bear's three bowls of porridge. Then Goldilocks tried the three chairs. After that, she tried the three beds and fell asleep. And last, the bears came home and scared Goldilocks away, and they never saw her again. Great job retelling the story, our familiar story. Okay, so let's look closely at the illustrations and really think about what the main character is doing and why she's doing that. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Okay, let's take a close look at the very first page. Look at the illustration closely. When I pay attention to this illustration, I notice Goldilocks' face. Look at her eyebrows and look at her funny smile. I also notice that she's swinging and she's about to land in a pool with her clothes on. What? Let's read the words. Once there was a little girl called Goldilocks. What a sweet child, said someone new in the town. That's what you think, said a neighbor. When we pay attention to what the neighbor said, remember she said, that's what you think. I'm beginning to get ideas about Goldilocks, who she is. She might not be the best behaved little girl. Let's go to the next page. What do you notice about her in this page? Yeah, look at her. What is she doing? She's sticking her tongue out. And remember, the mom was on the phone and what was she telling her in this part? Can you go to town and get the muffins, right? Well, if she's licking her lips, that makes me think she wants to eat these muffins. She might be excited about them. Let's read the words. One morning, Goldilocks' mom sent her to buy muffins in the next village. You must promise not to take the shortcut through the forest, she said. I've heard that bears live there. I promise, said Goldilocks, but to tell you the truth, Goldilocks was one of those naughty little girls who do exactly as they please. Now, when we pay attention to what the words say, it says that she's naughty and she does exactly as she pleases. That gives me a clue that she's not going to follow the directions. And does she? That's right. Let's look closely at the illustrations on this page. I want you to look really closely at her. Look at her face. What is she doing? What do you see? What ideas do you have here about her now? What might she be thinking? Why is she doing what she's doing? We know that she's going down that path even though she's not supposed to. That makes us as readers think, she seems a little mischievous, right? She does what whatever she pleases, even though her mommy said not to. I wonder if Goldilocks looks for trouble. Let's keep reading. Meanwhile, in a clearing deeper inside the forest, in a charming little house all their own, a family of brown bears was sitting down to breakfast. "Patooey!" cried big old Papa Bear. "This porridge is scalding. I've burned my tongue." "I'm dying!" cried Baby Bear. "Now really," said Mama Bear, who was of medium size, "that's quite enough." "I know," said Papa Bear. "Why don't we go for a spin while the porridge is cooling?" "Excellent idea," said Mama Bear. So they got on their rusty old bicycle and off they went. Tra-la. A few minutes later, Goldilocks arrived at the bear's house. She walked right in without even bothering to knock. Those words match what we were saying about her not listening and being naughty, right? Yeah. On the dining room table were 3 inviting bowls of porridge. Look closely at Goldilocks in this page. What is Goldilocks likely to do? What do you think she's going to do? Yeah, looks like she's going to eat that porridge. Look at her hand around the bowl. And it's like she's like looking over her shoulder like, is anybody looking? I'm going to try it, right? What's your opinion of Goldilocks? What do you think about her? I'm thinking like you. I'm thinking she's sneaky. And I remember in this part that she eats the porridge. Let's see. "I don't mind if I do," said Goldilocks, helping herself to the biggest bowl. That's right, she just does whatever she pleases. But the porridge in the biggest bowl was too hot. "Patooey!" cried Goldilocks, and she spat it out. Next, she tasted the porridge in the medium-sized bowl, but that porridge was much too cold. Then Goldilocks tasted the porridge in the little bowl, and it was just right. In fact, she liked it so much that she gobbled it all up. That naughty Goldilocks, she just does whatever she wants. It's not her porridge, but she just took it anyways. Feeling full and satisfied, Goldilocks thought it would be great fun to have a look around. Right away, she noticed a lot of coarse brown fur everywhere. "They must have kitties," she said. In the parlor, there were 3 chairs. "I don't mind if I do," she said, climbing into the biggest one. But the biggest chair was much too hard, and she just couldn't get comfortable. Next, she sat in the medium-sized chair, but that chair was much too soft, and she thought she might never get out of it. Then Goldilocks sat in the little chair, and that was just right. Neither too hard nor too soft. In fact, she liked it so much that she rocked and rocked until the chair fell completely to pieces. Now all that rocking left Goldilocks quite tuckered out. Before we read on, look closely at this page. What do you notice about Goldilocks? What do you think she's likely to do now? Yeah, she's yawning. Oh, when you're yawning, what does that mean? Yeah, you're tired and you usually go lay down, right? What does that say about her? What is your opinion about her in this part? She is at somebody else's house and she just ate up their food and now she's going to take a nap. She just does whatever she pleases. She's not thinking about anybody else. Let's keep reading. I could take a little snooze, she said, so she went to look for a comfy place to nap. Upstairs were the 3 beds. I don't mind if I do, said Goldilocks, and she got into the biggest one. But the head of the biggest bed was much too high. That's right, I remember this part. She got in Papa Bear's bed. Who does that? Who gets in somebody else's bed without asking? Next, she tried the medium-sized bed, but the head of that bed was much too low. Then Goldilocks tried the little bed, and it was just right. Look at her face. I can see that she's smiling. She's all tucked into the bed. She looks pretty comfortable. So what do you think is going to happen next? Yeah, she's going to fall asleep. That's right. Soon she was all nice and cozy and sound asleep. She did not hear the bears come home. Now, the author just gave us a clue. She's asleep. The bears are coming home. What's going to happen next? All right, let's read and find out. The 3 bears were mighty hungry, but when they went in for breakfast, they could scarcely believe their eyes. Somebody has been in my porridge, said Papa. Somebody has been in my porridge, said Mama Bear. Somebody has been in my porridge, said Baby Bear, and eaten it all up. Look at Papa Bear's face. How do you think he is feeling? Not happy. What do you think he's thinking? Maybe he's thinking, what's going on here? How did this happen? All right, let's keep reading. Our blessed happy home. Bless our happy home. In the parlor, 3 little bears were in for another little surprise. Somebody has been sitting in my chair, said Papa Bear. Somebody has been sitting in my chair, said Mama Bear. Somebody has been sitting in my chair, said Baby Bear, and broken it to smithereens. Now look at Mama Bear's face. How is she feeling? Not happy. What do you think she's thinking? They're probably thinking, what is going on? The 3 bears went upstairs on tiptoe, not knowing what they would discover. Look closely at their faces. Earlier they looked angry. Look at how their eyes are all looking in the same direction. Their mouths are just straight like that. And the words say they not knowing what to expect. They don't know what they're about to find, do they? Then Papa Bear lay down on his big brass bed. Somebody has been laying in my bed, he cried, and he was not amused. Now we know from the words he is not happy. That's right. Egats, cried Mama Bear. Somebody has been laying in my bed. Look, cried Baby Bear. Somebody has been laying in my bed, and she's still there. Now see here, roared Papa Bear. Goldilocks woke up with a start, and her eyes nearly popped out of her head. But before the bears could demand a proper explanation, Goldilocks was out of bed, out the window, and on her way home. Who was that little girl? Asked Baby Bear. I have no idea, said Mama Bear, but I hope we never see her again. Now, Baby Bear doesn't look happy, right? They are all not amused. And they never did. Look at Goldilocks' face in this illustration. Look at her face, her eyes now. She's running away. Her hair is blowing. We know she's running fast. I wonder if she learned a lesson. So as we reread today, we learned a little more about the character Goldilocks. We thought about the kind of person that she was. We thought about her feelings. We thought about what she might have been thinking, which made us think about why she was doing what she was doing, right? Is this the kind of little girl that you would want to be friends with? Why or why not? Think about it. Maybe some of you said, yeah, because you like to be mischievous too. Or maybe some of you say, no, I would not want to be friends with someone who would do things like that, who only does what they please, not thinking about other people. Okay, so now that we know so much about this character, when we go back and retell, we can add so many more details, right? We can think about Goldilocks and why she did these things and add it to our retell. First, Goldilocks' mom sent her to get muffins. She said, "Do not take the shortcut." Now we can say, and Goldilocks was naughty and did as she pleased, and she went down that path. What can we say about what happened next? She went in and ate the 3 bowls of porridge. And why did she do that? Because she does whatever she pleases. So she tried all 3 bowls of porridge. Then she decided, I'm going to try out these chairs, because Goldilocks does whatever she wants. And she tried out all 3. She was rocking hard in Baby Bears, and it what? Broke. Did she care? No, because she's naughty and didn't care what anybody else thought. After that, she went upstairs because, remember, she was tired. She said, I'm going to try out these beds. So she tried out Papa Bears, Mama Bears, and Baby Bears. And what happened? Remember, she doesn't care. She's in somebody else's bed, but she was cozy and happy, and she fell asleep. And at the end of the story, the bears came home, and how did they feel? They were not amused. They were not happy. They woke Goldilocks up, and she ran away. Do you see how that time we told more details in our retelling? Okay, great work today. You are going to log on to Seesaw, you're going to click Add Response and do the activity. I can't wait to see how you draw Goldilocks and what she does. See you next time. Bye.